just stop it. Just stop it, stop it, stop it. If you're a hunter and your targets are going to be out past 300 yards, if you play around in the sandbox and you're an operator and you need all this high-tech stuff, just change the channel. Because what I'm about to say has nothing to do with you. It has to do with people who have a long gun, specifically an AR platform, and they need target acquisition help. Now, you can call it a sight, you can call it optics. But what I'm talking about is stop wasting stupid money on buying that stuff because it's not necessary in a practical self-defense or home defense scenario. I'm not talking about WHRL. I'm not talking about HSTF. I'm talking about you using your AR platform or your rifle in a self-defense or home defense scenario where you now have to say there was ability, opportunity, and I was in jeopardy from the threat, and I had to use this tool to stop the threat. Or I was doing medium-sized game, 100 yards, 100 meters, 150 meters, hunting. That's it. So the guidance I would give you is never spend more than 50% of the purchase price of your rifle for an optic system. Never. Now that should give you a hint as to the kinds of things you might look for when you go to the gun store or sporting goods store and start looking around for an optics. Okay? I would also say if the optics is longer than your barrel, you have other issues. Look, you are a rifleman first, not a long-range marksman first, or designated rifleman, or whatever term you want to use for a sniper. That's not you. You're not going to be doing that. So you don't need all the stuff on your gun to support that kind of mission. It's a waste of money, a waste of time, and a waste of, well, a lot of things. Just don't do that. So a rifleman needs to know how to acquire a target quickly and with reasonable accuracy if you're hunting accuracy, and if you're in self-defense, combat effective hits from ranges between 15 yards out to 100, 150 yards. That's it. So what's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to make sure, I hope, that you can use your iron sights. Real simple. How do you use it? How do you operate it? How do you put the target in between the front sight and whatever rear sight aperture you're using? I happen to be using a ghost ring. And hit your target. Forget optics. If you can't do this first, then you're going to really waste money on whistles and bells for optics that you don't need. So first step, learn to acquire your target correctly and with the right speed with your iron sights. I'll fess up just a little bit. When you get my age, you can't even see the front sight. It's terrible. And in low light, don't even think about it. So when that day comes, or you would like the ability to shoot reflexively, and that is acquire the target really fast and not have to close one eye or the other, then you probably go to what is called a reflexive sight. This is an electronic sight that paints a reticle or a dot or a circle or square or some other kind of image on here and paints it onto your target,
And as long as it's on the target and you pull the trigger, as long as your rifle is bore sighted correctly, you're going to have first round hits. Pretty respectable first round hits at that. By the way, this is an upper, so there's nothing down here, so I'm going to turn and point the barrel at me. And I'm going to do that so you guys can see the green reticle inside. Now notice as I move the frame around, the reticle is going to stay, if you're looking at your target, on target. Okay? That's the ability for you to just put that green image onto your target and pull the trigger. If you have the kind of reflex sight that is out there, you can also do what is called co-witnessing, and that is, if we can get that sight up, have the rear sight, front sight lined up with the green dot. That's called co-witnessing. It's kind of nice, and people do that because, well, what happens if the battery goes dead? Okay, so you flip up your sight or you use your sight, and then you can still acquire the target. Now on the reflex sight that I just showed you, and they're referred to as red dots, but now you can get green, you can get red. This one you can select green or red, whatever drives your tractor. You know, you can do it. You can change the type of image. There's a dot, there is a circle with a dot, there is a X with a dot, and there's a crosshairs that gives you some kind of come up ability on your target. That was not expensive, and trust me, it's very effective. I train with it all the time. On my, this is a 22 upper. I train with it all the time, so I can get the muscle memory, so I get that quick target acquisition skill going, and I'm not wasting $1 billion in AR ammo. So that's the first level up from iron sights. Some kind of reflex sight, some kind of red dot. Once you're comfortable with target acquisition with your iron sights, and if you've just gone to a red dot type optic for target acquisition, the next upgrade you'll start to need or want some magnification. And there are various options. I happen to preferred the 3x option, so it's 3 times magnification, but it's fixed, and the reason it's fixed is so I can know that I can go out to longer distances. With this setup, I could go to 200 yards easily. The reticle is extremely fine, so in detail, so you can get very accurate shots out to those ranges. The closer in, magnification, remember, isn't the big issue. It's putting that reticle onto the target in a reflexive way, and that's what this does. Now, this happens to be a Burris 332 3x magnifier. There are other manufacturers out there. Vortex makes one, and theirs is a 3x, and it's a prism. This is a prism technology as well. The point here is that this is an all-in-one optic. So you have your reflex reticle target acquisition, a lit reticle inside, and you also have magnification and very fine crosshairs, so you can do more accurate, longer range shooting. Now, this gives red or green optics. You just select them with a knob up here, and there's varying degrees of brightness. There's 0 brightness, and I'll show you what that looks like. So as you can see, you see the red circle inside, and as I move, just like on the other reflex sight, as I move it around, the red circle tends to stay where it should be. And all you do is put that circle on your target and fire, just like in the original red dot type that I showed you. Now, this is brightness level 2 on this sight, which is perfect for low light or indoors. Now I can turn the brightness off, and we'll see what that looks like in a second. Now right there you can see a black circle. That's the reticle with the light off. And the reason you can still see it is because that is actually etched into the lens. So even if you lose battery, you still have the ability to get reflexive optics on target. Now obviously this wouldn't work that well in low light, but if you have a light on your gun and you turn that on, this immediately becomes visible. Another reason to have a light for your rifle.
So my point here is that for less than $400, which is half the price of a standard AR that you can get out there today, AR probably a 5.56/223. If it's 223 only, it'll be a little less. My point is that you can now have in one device, one optics device, your fixed reticle that allows you the accuracy to go out to longer ranges, a quick target acquisition image that comes up reflexively, so you can just keep both eyes open and put the reticle on target, and magnification out to some distance, probably about 200. I mean, reliably, if you're not a sniper or somebody like that, you know, or what I'll call a long-range hunter, you're gonna pretty much, I am anyway, if I was a hunter, hang out at about 200 yards. So you have very good control of target acquisition from 15 yards, assuming you're inside a home, and out to 200 yards. And you don't violate the rule. And what is that? Never spend more than 50% of the value of your rifle on an optic. Just saying.